Hello everyone, how are you? So hey, my name is Abdallah and today I'm just going to go through the development of the management information for an internal project at work. So I've not been spending too much time on it lately because I have quite some work to do, and also I've not been getting so much sleep. Okay, so if you remember, we had a management information, basically a website or application whereby our colleagues could add when they were, we call that basically roster attendance, when they were going to come at the office, that we could meet at the same day. So the thing is, when you scaffold it, even with Rails, it can take some time. So I remember using Django a few months on a real project, and what I find very interesting with Django was that you got this admin baked right into it, and you just create your model, and then you can easily you don't need any further development or even any code as such. You get the admin whereby any non-technical person can just add the content that you want. So I found this very nice, and especially in terms of rapid application development. So just a fun trivia fact is that I actually started using Django for a side project, for actually a real project for a friend's cousin who wanted for his, he basically sold, he had some agents working with him and sold some products, but they committed fraud basically because he had an Excel file whereby he could change, whereby everyone could change the values. So therefore what happened was that they just faked some data and took his money, and that's what happened. I tried to develop an application at the time with Django, but I have some issues with the dependencies, and I did it with, this is actually how I got into Rails, like the short story. So we come back to the new page. Wow, it's very bright here. Just going to show you the code quickly here. And so it's different from the other project a bit because I had some issues. I wanted to have this Rails admin, the admin part at least baked in, and to do that, what I did. So right now the project is basically only Ruby on Rails 6, and then we have Tailwind for the styling. So why Tailwind is because I've seen a lot of adoption in the Rails community, despite that they are usually quite, I won't say all, but they have their ways of working, and Tailwind has been quite appreciated. So and of course I know Bootstrap really well. I've developed a few different web applications using Bootstrap, but also other technologies such as Materialize, Angular Material, and so on and so forth. So I want to try something else. That's not my first attempt to Tailwind CSS. Of course, not the first one. I've used it before, and right now what I'm trying to do is just, okay, let me just start explaining a bit what I've did. So here, allow me to just, here, no, it's not even that big. Now it's tremendous, I think. Okay, it doesn't look too big on the screen though. Okay, so here I'm just going to share with you what I did was simply to create a minimal Rails application, Rails 6, like you can see, using Ruby 3.0.5 and all the sources from the normal, usual rubygems.org. So this is what you have by default, SQLite free, Puma. And what I added was Rails admin, one thing, and the second thing is the Tailwind CSS Rails. So if you remember in the first video, we had some issues adding Tailwind and so on and so forth, but right now it was related to Webpacker at some point. So I even actually had some issue with adding Rails admin. The main reason I created the project was that I had an issue using Rails admin with Webpacker. So the package JSON was overwritten, there was some conflict, so I didn't really know how to manage this, and I don't have time actually, so I just created a new one, minimal, and I added the user RB, the user model. So basically it's the same as the previous one, and I created so this is, you just install it, and then what you have is it will be configured for you, it will be generated for you, and what I like is that it's pretty nice. Okay, so in terms of routes, what do we have in terms of routes? So it's basically you have a default route here from a home controller and index home controller, and the index so I shouldn't have an empty space. This is the group convention, and here we have the admin. So it looks really nice. Let's just try it. I'm just thinking if there's anything else missing right now. Okay, not so much. So we have this quite ugly. About the font is good, but otherwise it looks weird. And there seems to be some spacing and padding as well. If you remember, we have this, but just going back on the view, the index view. So here it is. We have the text for font bold. It's underlined as well. We just have a main clause here. I'm not sure where we get this flex, but maybe it's in the application because I've not fully checked it out. So yeah, you see it here. I actually added it myself when I added Tailwind. So some weird code right now. I think I just copy pasted. The container makes auto, so I think it's going to be in the middle. I'm not sure how it works. So a cool thing with when you install the extension from Tailwind is that when you hover on the class, it gives you the CSS margin left, auto margin right. Auto, I don't even think it's relevant right now. Sorry. Margin top, so this is that's why it looks so weird like that, and it's flex as well. So I think this bunch of random stuff might have been generated by Copilot. Sometimes, like I said, a lot of times Copilot just randomly generates some stuff. Some of the time, it's crazy. So we go to the admin part, and here you go. So this is automatically created for you. Once you configure it, I'll show you as well the admin res initialize. So this is configured, created and configured automatically for you. So right now I'm using, since I created the application using the minimal flag, nothing else, it uses the default sprockets. So I think this one is the basic one. Then you have like asset pipelines, you have Webpacker, you can use Bun, but I don't think you can do it with Rails 6, I'm not sure. But you can do it with Rails 7.1, and you can use a lot of things. I personally don't really like working with Webpacker as far as the application is very simple. Of course, if we want some single page application, libraries or frameworks like React or Angular, then of course you can consider using Webpacker. But for this project, I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. Oh, I just changed some stuff, so it looks good. So you can work with authorization, with can, with device in Warden. You can, and this is of course. That's what I'm going to work on a bit later on the auth. And then you can use Pundit as well. You can use Paper Trail for versioning. I think this is really good and highly recommended. Oh, my mouse is acting a bit. You can also use Gravatar, so I'm not sure how it works. And you can also configure it. So I am getting the vibe from Django admin. It seems a bit similar. Okay, now the next part is I'm just going to show you today. This is a user that created my name, the email is admin is active. So this I just created because my aim is that even if I use device, which is gem for authentication or authentication, I don't want to give access to everyone because I think that I'm going to deploy this application on public. I'm not sure how though I can use DigitalOcean or somewhere much cheaper to be seen. We'll look into it later on, of course. Okay, here a bit how it goes. So you can add a new user. It's all done for you, and you don't even need a single line of code, and that's what I found really good. You can export this data, you can add filters as well, you can select this data and do some stuff, you can filter as well. So it's all done for you, and it's only on the admin. You can see the dashboard. This is the admin dashboard. You can go back to the home, the beautiful hello world. So if you need more information, maybe I'm considering creating a blog post. I'm considering to create a blog post with all this detail inside, because I'm not coded that live really, because I was experimenting here and there, and it was going to be quite boring, to be honest. And of course, when I explain things like that, I can't really focus on the task itself. That's why I go much faster now here. And for TailwindCSS, you can use Ruby on Rails. Yeah. So if you don't fancy Ruby on Rails, for example, you can use Laravel, you can use Django as well. So these are good tools to use for dynamic types languages, Python, PHP, and Ruby. Or if you fancy even using strong type like static typing, you can use, of course, something like ASP.NET Core with C#. So here it just tells you what you want to do. Just you add the project, you use this. You don't even need to do anything actually. Bin bundle add this, because I think it's supported out of the box. You install it, it will add this data for you, and you just and all of that will be added for you. I think you don't need anything to do. And you need though to have foreman, and right now I'm having some issue with foreman. I don't know why, but it's not an issue at all. So just to give you some context of what I did, this is the first commit of the project. I just added the model. So last time, if you remember, I've scaffolded the entire controller, view, and model, but this time I've adopted a different approach because I wanted to have this admin side built. And you just create the model, scaffold the model, and it does all the work for me. Then I add the gem Rails admin, and this is a dependency, and it will add the routes. And then for me, I just added this is SAS actually, I think. No, it's a dependency based on where, because I didn't add anything else. So yeah, so not this one, but I'll come back to it in a minute. I added a default route. So right now I am on a different, no, it's not, I'm still on main, the branch main. I added, this is created all by itself. Here I created another branch. And the point is the use of simple calendar, because we want to be able to add so maybe I will create a wireframe later on, or just copy paste what we have and what you're currently using and just change a few stuff in it. And once done, what I'm going to do, so basically you have a list of the weekdays, and then you have a list of colleagues, and the one let's say Monday I want to come to the office, I click on it and it puts me as present. So I don't think it's very possible to do with simple calendar, because it gives you a calendar. It's nice though, it's very nice. I mean, even so, you can create a lot of stuff. So I just added Tailwind as well, and then this add some validation. So it's getting more and more interesting, like you see. And the next part is just the device. By device, I mean the user authentication. And after I'm done with that, I will style it a bit with TailwindCSS, and then I will create from scratch. Maybe it won't be difficult to do that. I need another model for bookings, or not really bookings, but to know about the appointment. So I don't think it's going to be an issue per se. Okay, so that's it. I think for part 2 today we didn't really code anything, but we continue going a bit faster. I need to write some code soon. Maybe when I have some more time, I will just code it live in front of you. So see you later.